We successfully implanted the human brain organoids made from stem cells, which are essentially tiny human brains, into the skull of a mouse, and it worked, and this has consequences for the first eye transplant. Hi, I wanted to provide you with some updates about this experiment because I did get to speak to the researchers. First, to answer some questions, we take skin cells and then encourage them to become neural cells and let them grow. And they essentially become tiny human brains, and sometimes they have eyes. These eyes are capable of seeing light, and it seems to make them think a little bit when they see the light. And of course we know they beat AI on Pong. We are already putting them in supercomputers. As for the experiment, they damaged the mouse's retrosplenial cortex and replaced it with a brain organoid. The retrosplenial cortex has something to do with how the mice actually process vision and their environment. When they implanted the little brain organoid, it restored their vision. They kept the mice alive for about 70 days, and when I spoke to the researchers, they said they didn't really see any notable changes in the mice's behavior, despite having a little tiny brain inserted into their brain. But the really important part about it is that it vascularized. So one of the big problems with growing the brain organoids is that they become hypoxic after about 60 days because they get too big and they don't have a vascular system. They're not attached to a little heart. Implanting them in the brains of mice kind of bypasses that and allows them to continue to grow. As you can see, it actually made connections with the rest of the brain. The reason why this research is so important is because we just did the first eye transplant, and while the eye doesn't work, we're unsure if it's going to start working or if the nerves can repair themselves, but perhaps with the neural stem cell seeding, we could make those connections in the brain. One of the types of blindness that's never been able to be repaired is when there's damage to the parts of the brain that process vision. We could potentially take one of your skin cells, make a little tiny human brain, and insert it into the damaged area, and it could repair itself. Of course, my concerns about it are how sentient are the little brains. If you saw my video and my little interview with Cortical Labs, they do believe they're sentient, but not conscious. Would they have a different personality, or would it just immediately integrate into your brain? These are issues that we don't know the answer to, and hopefully we do soon.